Good morning, it's Ecom Rebel, and we are back again live today. So let's do a market update. Let's have a look at some of the news. I've got some articles to talk to you about. Let's get into it. It's Friday, 10:51 a.m. So it's still morning. Friday, yeah, good old Friday. If you're on Friday, you'd be looking forward to the weekend if you're in a job. Fortunately, I'm not in a job, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about living till the weekend, so that's pretty grateful for that. All right, let's have a look at the market. So, number one, Bitcoin, $6,547. Pretty much the same as it was in the last 24 hours. Ethereum, 468. Not much movement there. Ripple at 47 cents, down about 3%. Bitcoin Cash 738, and that is down about 3%. EOS is $9.12, hasn't moved too much. Litecoin 83.55, down about 1%. Cardano in number 7 at 14 cents, down 3%. Stellar 20 cents, down 3.3%. IOTA at number 9, $1.15, down about 3%. And Tether rounding out at $1, 2.72 billion market cap. So that's the top 10. Not much movement. Yesterday we did see a gain on the market. There was a big move yesterday. We'll have a quick look at that one. Okay. Just waiting for that to load. So this was the last day. We'll just go to 7 days. We'll be able to see that change. Because I think yesterday we went up to about 6,700 and dropped a bit back. Yeah, here it is. This is the move from, basically it went on July, 3rd of July. We went from 6,300 all the way up to 66. And we had another move from 65 to 67. So we're starting to see some big accumulation here. Like this total volume for that hour was 61 million, and there was 34 million for that hour. So as you can see, those big buy orders going in there. So they're starting to accumulate again. So this, to me, this is a good sign. We still need to see this continue, and basically we need to see this buy and continue for it to move basically up. Because it doesn't. The thing about prices, they don't stay static. They don't stay at the same level. They're either going to be going down or they're going to be moving up. That's how the markets work. And at the moment, they've moved them, quite a way down. I can't see any reason why they're going to push them any further. So yeah, just to have a look on the 1 month, what we've seen. We've seen prices at 7.6, and they've pushed it all the way down to 5.9, 5.8, and then we're back to where we are now. All right, so let's have a quick look at the some of the news. There was some interesting news articles. It wasn't too much bad. I mean, we had a problem with Binance. That was a sort of a bit of FUD yesterday. Essentially, the official word is that there was some problems with the API, and they reset the API for Binance. Okay, what that means is that if you're trading, let's say on another platform like Coinergy, and you can use Coinergy and use all their charts and trade using Binance platform, but not actually be on Binance. That's what you use API. Now, there's been reports that the API and the SYS token, that they were hacked. There was some sort of compromise, which led to the crazy price of SYS. So they've basically reset all the keys. They've set up a fund, for people who lose, funds in some sort of extra events that happen like this. And this is what's happened. They haven't said too much more from it, but there's a lot of information out there. Basically, that they've hacked it. So not so much no problem with SYS, but mainly hacking the API at Binance for their own gains. So the good thing is all the funds are secure, but as far as this is the problem with when you're dealing with APIs and you're dealing with automated trading, you've got to be careful, because if something goes wrong and your system's designed to buy or sell automatically, that's the difference with when you trade by yourself and you're not using a bot to do it or anything like that. So you just got to be careful of those things. So some of the news was pretty much positive today, which is a good sign. I find that the market moves up when we have good news. When we have timed bad news, the market moves down, coincided off with sell. I don't think it's a matter of I think it's coordinated how the news happens and it's released. It's very obvious. So you just got to be aware of that. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of good news, so I'm seeing positive things happening in the market. And this one here, you're going to see more of this trend. Okay, so this is IBM signs a $740 million deal with the Australian government to use blockchain for data security. Okay, so this is a 5-year deal. This is our government spending $1 billion, which is 740 million, and with the Australian government to use the blockchain for improved data security. Now, I don't know too much about it, but essentially, this is what happened. Big companies like Microsoft, Google, Facebook, IBM, they'll be going to creating these blockchains, these private blockchains that they manage and run, and they'll be selling these to governments. Okay, this is what corporate does. So this is all fine and good, but what the problem with this is, if these corporations don't use technology that's already proven, okay, they're going to have problems, because this is all great, but what happens in 3 years' time when there's a data breach, this whole network and all the data that the Australian government use to, let's say it's information on taxpayers, all that information is stored in the blockchain, then the blockchain is compromised. Now, the thing is that this is just corporations doing it, right? And this is not like Bitcoin, right? It's not like it might be decentralized, but it's still controlled by IBM. So this is something that, corporations are getting in there and trying to make money out of this, and you'll see more and more of this. But this, I believe, is going to turn out to be a complete failure. I believe that the platforms like Bitcoin and the other big platforms are going to be secure. They're going to protect the data that's going to be stored on there. But these individual companies that create their own blockchains to sell to other people and other governments and other corporations, they're selling the concept to people that don't understand. And when they get breached, just like you see all the time, to me this is no different. This is just going to be a great incentive for people and hackers to hack into it. Now, they might clone Bitcoin, or they might clone some other technology, but I highly doubt it. I suspect that they will create their own technology, and that way they completely own it, and then they'll sell it. But the problem is this will be hacked, and you can guarantee that data will be breached. I see data breaches all the time. Every time, like nearly every week, there's a massive data breach. So all your important data is just leaked out. Not only credit card data, but your tax information and all sorts of information. And people use that to target you. Okay, so this is you're going to see more of this, but you're going to see some monumental failures there. Morning, Gordon. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. So some more news. Huobi, I think that's how you say it. I'll pronounce it Huobi. I'm not sure how else to do it. Let's have actually, we'll go to this article first. This is Asia. So you want to talk about these? There was an article that got brought up yesterday. I had a look at, and it was about the West versus East, and basically, as you know, like Japan is a big player. When we look at the flow of money, if I just go back, we'll just go back and we'll have a look at the flow of money. We'll have a look at that in a second. But this basically, you've got the West, you've got the US, and then you've got like Japan and Asia, and China. And basically, let's have a look at the, wait for that to load. the when you have a look at where the money's coming from and where we're at. So in the States right now, basically they've essentially banned ICOs. All ICOs have come to a halt. They've got restrictions on ICOs. They're trying to put regulatory framework. Now, this has been going on for some time. I believe in 2014 is when they brought out the framework for essentially the BIT license for New York, which was nearly 4 years ago now. And now we've reached into the ICO space, and they're trying to shut down that. They're trying to onboard exchanges and bring out ETFs. So this is where the space is for the US. But when you go to the Asian countries and in Japan, they're embracing technology. They're like, Japan recognizes Bitcoin as a currency. So all these things. If what I'm getting to the point here is if the US does not allow this technology to move forward, then China and Japan and Asia is going to totally dominate this space. Now, as you can see, with manufacturing, China took over the space with manufacturing. Yes, there's side effects with the manufacturing. You're looking at when it comes to pollution and things like that. There is some bad things that about that when it comes to the other side of producing so much. Okay, with China, but they're a dominant force. Same with crypto. If Japan and Asian countries and China, if they take on crypto and accelerate it much further or don't hinder it as much as the West, you're going to see all the profits and you're going to see all the money to be made in these other countries and the wealth flowing to these other countries as opposed to the US. So it's one of those things where if they regulate it too much, it'll just move offshore, and sure, it won't be involved in, maybe it won't be as big, or it might be trying to be controlled by the West. But the thing is that not everything's controlled by the governments in the US, and we'll get to that in a minute. I'll bring up another point. I'll just have a quick look at this volume. Let's click at the volume last 24 hours. So if you guys have got any questions, just put them in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them while I'm on the live stream this morning. All right, so you can have a look at the money flow. The US dollar, we got 2.32 billion in the last 24 hours, and we have a look at the yen. It's 2.3, so it's 2.32, 2.3 billion. So there's nearly as much money going in Japanese yen as there in the US dollar, and then followed by tether, and then the South Korean won. So this is interesting. They don't actually talk about Chinese, how much the flow of the Chinese dollar. I'm not sure if they recognize that or it's on a different chart. But this gives you an idea of the flow and where it's going with that. Okay, so if we have a look at, so I covered that one. Oh yeah, that's right. So I wanted to cover this one here. This CEO here is going to lead $1 billion EOS venture capital. So he used to be part of a major investment banking firm. He's now joined the $1 billion venture capital arm of EOS. So if you're not familiar, EOS basically raised, I think, $4 billion, and $1 billion of it's going to go into venture capital, and they're going to be investing in projects. So essentially, this is block one. Okay, they're the basically the company that's have got the $1 billion, and they're investing it in projects and partnerships. To do states, Europe, Asia, whatever, because they want to build out the EOS, basically the system for EOS, and they want to run different dApps on it and all sorts of stuff. And yes, EOS at the moment is the 5th largest currency by capitalization, worth around about $8 billion. Now at the moment they got problems with the RAM prices going up on the network, account freezing, with basically regulating accounts and banning accounts. But nonetheless, these guys have got $1 billion to invest in this space. So this is what happens. You've got money coming in. These guys know what they're doing, and they're investing in projects and looking for projects to invest in. And this, you're going to see more and more of money from come in this way. All right, some more news is Huobi, fourth largest exchange in the world. They've just opened up in Australia, so this is their website. I just went to it now. I'll probably sign up and check out. It's like sign in this, get an account with them, and check out this. So they're offering, from what I can tell, 5th of July. What's today? 6. So it opened yesterday. Basically trade 10 coins against Aussie dollar. So I'll be signing up, probably go through that process with you later. They're the current prices now. Let's have a look at the coins. What pairs are they running at the moment? So BTC, yes. Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, awesome. Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, that's good to see. Now Paraledger, that's great too because that's a well-known ICO for Australia, currently at 39 cents. And ELF, CTXT, DTA, and IOST. So I'm not familiar with the other four at the moment. I think I have heard of them, but I'll check them out. But that's so far the top 10 against with Australian dollars. So this will be good. Obviously, it's not a decentralized exchange. Let's check out the fees while we're here. But they do. Apparently, they have KYC processing, which is fast. So I'll go through it. I'll make a video on this and see how easy it is. Now, at the moment, the maker and taker look like they're 0.2%. So, yeah, that's not too bad. Obviously, some exchanges are more, but for Australia, I've seen a lot higher for the fees. So, yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, the way, if you're not sure about maker and taker, what that means is if you go and put your order in, and you're actually the one that would say, I want to sell at a certain price, and it's not a current price, you become a maker of the market, okay? When someone comes along and then they want to, let's say you're selling and they want to buy, they then see your order and then they put an order in and it matches up with yours, that they then become they're the taker, okay? So because you put yours in first and then they took it, basically it's 0.2 either side. So yeah, that's exciting. Always interesting to get new exchanges, and there seems to be a few more exchanges. So that's good, and I'm glad they've got Bitcoin's good, but I'm glad they've got Ethereum, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, which is interesting, and I'm especially pleased about Bitcoin Cash as well, because lately I've seen Ethereum and Bitcoin fees go up, and the thing about this is we're at low, the amount of use for Bitcoin, Ethereum right now, the actual use of it is down compared to what it was like at Christmas time, and yet the fees are high. So, these are lots of reasons for that. I won't get into them right now, but these other things like Bitcoin Cash offer really cheap fees. Okay, and the biggest one, as you know, is Binance with 1.3 billion daily trade. They've moved to Malta, which goes on to my next article. Malta passes blockchain bills into the law, confirming Malta as a blockchain island. So if you want to set up something with crypto, you should go to Malta. Basically, this has happened July the 4th. They've got a new bill. And essentially, the three bills were to regulate distributed ledger technology, DLT, has been approved by the Parliament and enacted in law. Malta is the first world jurisdiction to provide legal certainty to this space. And this is great because Malta also, I believe, has a low tax, very low taxing country. And also they're saying, yes, they want the blockchain and they want crypto. And this is why so many exchanges and so many companies are starting there. You've got OKX, Binance, BitBay, and also some other companies already moving there now. So that is awesome for Malta. And now there was an article I did see when I did talk about the futures market, the manipulation of Bitcoin and suppression of the prices. And someone said, the people go, they don't believe in cartels, and what are you talking about? But basically, if you're not involved in the space, you wouldn't know. Like at the moment, US controls with the oil, right? It's based on oil. That's one of the things, because without oil, I won't go into everything because it's quite complicated. But essentially, when you sell oil, right, it's in US dollars. So that means if you're a country and you want to buy oil because you need oil to run your cars and your machines and stuff like that, okay, so you've got to buy that oil. You've got to pay that in USD, okay. By paying it in USD, you're giving value to the US dollar, okay. If you didn't have to pay for oil in USD, you could pay it in some other currency. That would give value to that other currency, okay. And this is what's happening right now. India and China are forming what they call an oil buyers club. Now, OPEC is basically the other organization that has got a monopoly on oil. Okay. Now, apparently they're too busy doing their upcoming meeting to worry about it. They don't seem to worry about it at all. But the truth is, China and India are forming their own oil buyers club. So what will happen is essentially they'll be got two massive countries that are going to be, they won't be using US dollars to transact, okay? So they won't be spending their money in USD because it'll be done in their own currencies. I'm not actually sure which currency they're going to be working in at the moment, but it's obviously going to be China, Europe, and India, and possibly Japan. So we're talking about some big places that use a lot of oil, and they're going to be essentially getting it through different channels. Instead of paying US dollars, they're going to be paying something else. All right. So this basically, when you control oil and you control resources, you control what goes on in the world, and this is just another thing that's happening. So this is will threat the US, and it's going to cause essentially the demise of the USD, and a lot of things to do with that. So just something to keep your heads up about that. All these things affect, but as I said, you've got to look at other countries other than the US where this innovation is going to take place and where the money is going to flow to. So just remember that. So Gordon says he was talking about the Ethos Universal Wallet got released in Australia today. No, I actually haven't checked that one out. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can find it quickly. If I can't find it, otherwise I'll do a video on it. So I'd like to hear your thoughts, what you guys think about any of those topics I talked about this morning. What your opinion, whether you think that you're going to see more of the things like IBM, where they're going to be selling their solutions to government, making a hell of a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they're just going to get hacked, and but things are going to get compromised, just no different to what it is now. Let me know what you think of whether you've tried Huobi Australia with the exchange. I will be giving my review on that shortly. And let me know what you think about Malta and also the oil cartels, and whether you think cartels exist at all, and whether you think people manipulate the market, and whether you think Bitcoin's suppressed. I'd like to know about that, what your thoughts as well. Alright, so this is ethos.io. I might check this wallet out. Looks interesting. I actually haven't used it. Okay, that's why. Right, so it's on Google Play. So it says Android in Netherlands, Germany, USA, and Australia. Google Play, which I don't have. I've only got iOS. iOS must be coming soon. So obviously it's a wallet for all your coins. Track and manage your portfolio. Blah, blah, blah. So it'll be interesting. Check this one out. At the moment, I don't have a Android phone, so I can try that out. But they're trying to get into this space where, have an app where you can essentially have your coins stored on there. And it's a big space because essentially who controls this? It's a way of bringing on new users and get them to use that over and over and again. So, for example, like Coinbase has got an app where you can buy and sell. Well, some you can buy the currencies. I think I've got 4 currencies you can buy. I can't sell in Australia on mine, and it gives you, some graphs and stuff like that. But they only hold those coins. They don't hold any other coins. With these ones, they have supported coins. So let me just see if they have a list. And also view list of supported coins. We'll have a quick look at that. So if they, the more coins they hold, the better, because it allows for more adoption. Let's have a look. And the thing is, they can onboard people. So you can imagine this. You say, oh, hey, you want to get into crypto? Check out this this wallet, right? They download the wallet, and then they can buy crypto. Let's assume that you can buy crypto. And then they can put the different things on there. So they've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and over 100 tokens at the moment. So from what I can tell, they've got ERC20 tokens, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Very similar to Bread, BRD. They've got essentially most of the tokens you can get, and also Ethereum, of course, and Bitcoin. And I believe they're adding more as well. So that's interesting. I'll try and do a review. I don't know when the iOS is coming out for that. All right, I think that covers about it. Yeah, Gordon, the Android right now, and then iOS coming, so I'll have to find out when that comes out. So a few updates. I haven't heard anything about Tether yet, waiting to find out. They're trying to do integration with actually buying the coin in the app and making it easy. So that'll be good when that happens. And there's a few, haven't really heard too much else, just waiting on some of these projects to come out. So that's pretty exciting. So yeah, if you guys want to know any more info, I actually did a crypto getting started guide. If you go to, I've got a link below here if you want to check it out. Also, if you go to my site, ecomrebel.com, you can click here to start. There's a little coupon code there. You can check it out. And essentially, I've put together some training, about 2 hours worth of on-demand video, and it goes through all the basics of basically, your wallets, where to buy and sell Bitcoin, where do you get it from, basically all the things that you need to know. Like when I started it, I had to find out all the information myself, research it on Google and work out which ones weren't scams and which ones were the safe places. So basically that's what I've done. I've condensed it. You just come here and you click on the little buy button there and you put in your email address, and then once you put in your email address, you can put in your coupon code. And once you put in the coupon code, that will give it to you. Currently, it's $47, but you can get it for $0, absolutely free. You just need to use the coupon code. So I'd recommend you check that out, and hopefully you learn a lot. And even if you've been in the space, there might be something that you will find, may have missed the first time around. So I cover a fair few of the wallets in that one. So I think that's about it. Now, if there's any questions you need answered, just put them in the comments below. If you're on Facebook, don't forget, you can, after this live stream finishes, you can tick the little box to make sure you get updated with new live streams. Don't forget to like my page. And also, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also click the like button. Put some comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. And yeah, I think that's all we've got covered for today, and I will keep you up to date. Talk to you again soon. Bye.